August is chaos. October is autumn. September is the window everyone misses. When the crowds go home, the prices drop 20 to 30%, and the best places on earth are finally yours. Here are the 10 that make the most sense right now. I put this list together specifically for September. Not because these are just good destinations, but because September does something specific and extraordinary to each of them. So, let's get into it. Subscribe before we start. Number 10, Tuscany, Italy. And September specifically because September is harvest. The grape harvest, vendemmia, runs through September and into early October, and the vineyards transform into something that looks like an oil painting decided to become real. The crowds that filled Florence and Siena in August are gone. The temperatures drop from 38 degrees to a genuinely lovely 24. And the truffle season begins in the oak forests, which means the restaurants that spend the rest of the year being good suddenly become exceptional. Agriturismo farmhouses in the Chianti Hills. Stay in a converted farmhouse on a working vineyard, often with wine and olive oil produced on the property, run $80 to $130 a night in September. In August, they're $160 to $200 and fully booked. September is Tuscany at its best for the price of a medium year. Number 9, Kraków, Poland. One of the most completely preserved medieval cities in Europe. The old town survived both world wars almost intact, and in September it's warm, golden lit, and running at about a third of Western European prices. The market square is the largest medieval square in Europe and surrounded by architecture that has no business being this beautiful in a city this affordable. A proper sit-down dinner for two with Polish food and local beer, $18 to $25. A room in a boutique guest house in the Old Town, $35 to $55. Auschwitz-Birkenau is 90 minutes away. One of the most important historical sites in the world. Entry is free, and September is when visitor numbers drop enough to give you the space to be properly affected by it. Daily budget in Kraków, $40 to $60. Go in September before the Christmas market crowds arrive. Number 8, the Canary Islands. Off the coast of Africa, technically Spain, warm every single month of the year. And September is when the rest of Europe finally stops coming. August is when every Spanish and German family takes the Canaries. By September 10th, they're back at school and the islands are essentially yours. The volcanic landscape of Lanzarote, black lava fields and turquoise Atlantic, a landscape that looks like something between Iceland and Mars, is extraordinary and uncrowded. Tenerife has Teide, the third highest volcano in the world and the highest peak in Spain, above a cloud layer that makes the island look like it's floating. La Palma has been designated one of the best stargazing locations in the world. Daily budget, $55 to $80. Apartment in September, $40 to $70. And it's 22 degrees in September. That is the deal. Number 7, Patagonia, Chile. The Southern Hemisphere's spring begins in September, which means the hiking trails that were snowed under in August are opening, the wildflowers are coming, and Torres del Paine National Park. The granite towers, the glaciers, the condors, the wind that comes from the Pacific and hits you like it means it, is accessible and magnificent. September is before the December and January peak when the famous W Trek gets so crowded, you're sharing the trail in a convoy. In September, the numbers are manageable, the light is incredible, Southern Hemisphere spring light is softer and longer than summer, and the refuge huts have availability. A guided W Trek in Torres del Paine, $150 to $250 for 3 days all in. Daily budget, $55 to $85. Patagonia is as far from ordinary as travel gets. Number 6, New Zealand. And September is the specific reason Southern Hemisphere spring is arriving, which means the lupine fields below Mount Cook are just coming into bloom, the hiking trails through Fiordland are reopening after winter, and the country is at its most dramatically green before the summer crowds discover it. Milford Sound in September. Waterfalls at their fullest from the snowmelt, the fjord walls still dusted with snow at the peaks. The water's so still and reflective some mornings it looks doubled. A scenic cruise through it, $45 to $75. Queenstown, the adventure capital, has its ski season winding down and its hiking season just starting, which means accommodation drops 30% between August and October and the town breathes. Number 5, Kenya, the Maasai Mara. And September is not just the right time. September is the only time for the specific thing that makes this the greatest wildlife spectacle on Earth. The Great Migration. 2 million wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles move from the Serengeti in Tanzania into the Maasai Mara in Kenya between July and October. And September is when the river crossings peak. The Mara River crossings, where thousands of wildebeest plunge into crocodile-filled water in a wave of collective courage and terror, happen most frequently in September. You sit at the riverbank and wait, sometimes an hour, sometimes 3, and then it happens. And it is the most overwhelming natural event I have witnessed anywhere. A budget tented camp in the Maasai Mara, $80 to $150 a night, all inclusive. A full-day game drive, $60 to $90. September, the Mara. Go! Number 4, Copenhagen. And I'm putting Copenhagen at number 4 because September does something specific to this city that I haven't seen happen anywhere else. It turns golden. Copenhagen in July and August is packed and gray and expensive. In September, the tourists clear, the light turns amber for the entire afternoon, the canal at Nyhavn reflects a sky that Scandinavian painters have been trying to capture for 200 years, and Tivoli Gardens, one of the oldest amusement parks in the world and one of the most beautiful, hangs its autumn lanterns and becomes something genuinely magical in the evenings. Copenhagen has the highest concentration of Michelin-starred restaurants per capita of any city on Earth. Most of them are not accessible to a travel budget, but the bakeries, the sourdough, the cardamom pastries, the open-faced smørrebrød are extraordinary and cost $3 to $6. Daily budget, $80 to $120. Copenhagen in September is Northern Europe at its most atmospheric. Number 3, Bhutan. And this one requires a brief explanation before the destination itself. Bhutan charges a sustainable development fee of $100 per person per day. It's a deliberate policy to limit visitor numbers and protect the environment. That's in addition to other costs, making Bhutan $200 to $300 per day all in. I'm putting it at number 3 not despite this, but because of it. That fee is why Bhutan has more monasteries than traffic lights, more national forest than concrete, and more moments of genuine stillness than almost any accessible destination on Earth. September hosts the Thimphu Chechu, the most important festival in Bhutan. 3 days of masked dances, religious ceremonies, and cultural pageantry in the capital. Tiger's Nest Monastery, the iconic clifftop temple that appears in every photograph of Bhutan, is a 4-hour return hike and one of the most affecting things you can do anywhere in Asia. September is post-monsoon. Green, clear, extraordinary. Number 2, the Canadian Rockies, Banff and Jasper National Parks. And September turns them into something that the summer photographs don't prepare you for, the aspens. Every September, the aspen forests that line the mountain valleys turn from green to gold and orange and amber, and the combination of golden trees, turquoise glacial lakes, and snow-capped peaks above everything creates the most visually overwhelming landscape I've stood in anywhere in North America. Moraine Lake, the turquoise water, the Valley of the 10 Peaks, is genuinely as good as the photographs. Better, because the crowds that queue from 5 a.m. for the viewpoint in summer are significantly reduced by mid-September. Daily budget in Banff, $80 to $120. National Park entry, $24 for 2 people. The Icefields Parkway between Banff and Jasper is 232 kilometers of continuous mountain driving with not a single unspectacular view. September is the window. And number 1, Azerbaijan, Baku. And I said at the start that number 1 would surprise you, and I meant it. Azerbaijan sits at the crossing of Europe and Asia on the Caspian Sea. A country that has been Persian, Russian, Soviet, and now deeply itself, a culture with its own language, its own script, its own extraordinary food, and a capital city that contains one of the most complete medieval walled cities in the Islamic world, inside a modern skyline that includes the flame towers, 3 twisting glass skyscrapers that light up as flames at night, and the Haydar Aliyev Center, a building designed by Zaha Hadid that looks like the future dreamed of the past and couldn't choose between them. September is perfect. 24 to 28 degrees, post-summer, the pomegranates and quinces coming ripe in the markets, the mountain regions north of Baku turning color. Daily budget, $35 to $55. A guest house in the old city, $25 to $40. A full Azerbaijani dinner, lamb plov, dolma, pomegranate everything, black tea from a pear-shaped glass, $8 to $14 for 2. Azerbaijan is not on any list. It is extraordinary. It costs almost nothing. September is the right month. Go. 10 destinations, all of them at their September best. All of them significantly less crowded and more affordable than they were in August. Tuscany harvests its grapes. Kenya watches the migration. Copenhagen turns golden. Bhutan holds its festival. Azerbaijan just waits for you to discover it. At $35 a day, while most of the travel world hasn't worked out it exists yet. Drop in the comments. Which one is going on your list? And September or not, which month do you think is the most underrated for travel? I want that debate.